entrepreneurial drive. So there you are. Admit just came on my screen. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on the phone just a second here once we start here. There we go.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay.
You have your audio on?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you. So, well, superb. So you live in Florida, huh? My phone said Florida.
Yes, Florida, and thank you. I was going to say I appreciate all the compliments that I of how I sound, but I was in the middle of trying to access. I'm like, let me first do that. First things first, and then we'll get to thanking you. So yes, thank you. I am very ambitious. I'm doing, I have been on a journey of like learning, and I'm still new, so I haven't, unlike you, been doing this for a very long time. But I have taken a lot of courses, a lot of trainings, a lot of things that I've tried that didn't work. And
I want you to know that I'm going to be complimenting only because you're rare to invest in yourself, to take courses, to risk failure, to get back up after failure. That knocks off a lot of people. And that's okay. I love to see little children. That's wonderful. Anyhow, just know this. If you see me looking away, I'm taking notes. But you know what, Angelina, you're a rare in that regard. That's why I give you a thumbs up. That's the folks I'm looking for. There's a certain mentality of folks that have this entrepreneurial spirit in them. That's who attracts to these kind of things. So be glad you have that. Hi there, sweetheart. What a darling little girl, a little shy, huh?
She was like, I don't know, she either didn't like that she didn't get the attention, or everyone talking.
Well, I'm Coach B. What's her name?
Adelina.
Adelina. Fun. Well, good. But anyhow, if I interrupt, that's when I'm writing over here and looking away, I'm not ignoring, I'm just taking notes.
Oh yeah, no worries. Okay.
You have something, a passion though, that's specific that you've been feeling in you, other than a certain type of income? Is there some kind of a industry or hobby or thing, skill set you have that you just have a real passion
Yes,
for?
I want to get into public speaking.
Okay.
I don't know how.
Okay. And
I also want to create a course.
Okay.
That I already started working on. I just need to finish it and then automate it, and that's my plan.
And the course deals with?
Basically, well, that's what I'm kind of trying to narrow down right now, but it basically is going to be for people who want to escape working 9 to 5.
Okay, if I understand you right, how to escape your 9 to 5. Good. And coming up with that theme, and then having a few modules that is a course that is more of a baseline, then you coach through that? Or is it just the folk all encompassing?
No, I coach, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, if I coach, that's great, and I still can, but I'm kind of tired.
Okay, you want to be a self-contained course that they can just
like I want something that can just make me money and I don't have to attend to anything. So if I feel like not working for a year, I can do that.
Okay, and it still continues.
Because like now, if I stop working, if I stop searching, if I stop doing, everything stops. There's no income, and I'm like, ah.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to be owned. You don't want your hours to be owned. You want them to set up and have a mechanism, a machinery that continues, that you then can take your hours with your daughter and family and other things, and it still is producing the income, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of people who do that. I'm at the age here where you'll get to there one day, but I'm at the age where my Social Security is an ongoing thing. I can go to the beach, whatever, and I still get, those thousands of dollars that I get.
That's kind of what I want. I want some kind of a safety net, and then I can invest, because look, right now, the reality of my situation is I like to do things, but I'm a little bit all over the place. And it's not that I don't understand that it's bad to be all over the place, but that's what brings me joy. And that's what encourages me not to be burnt out in one of the other things. So I like to do very different things, and I love to start things, and then I feel like I want to abandon them and not finish. So I just want something that is, something where it could be like a safety net, so I don't have to worry about, and then I can just do whatever project I want. I can
Sure.
invest in my business. I can do whatever I want to do.
Sure.
And
Well,
I have yet to find anything that is
that fits that bill. Well, know this, that it can be done. I know that because there's many, many people who have done it, many, many women who have done it, young people have done it, but it is a journey. It is some discovery about yourself and finding a niche, doing a little testing. A lot of folks think like they can come with an idea, put it out there with, and then it explodes. And once in a while that happens, but that's not usually the norm. The norm is really on my website that I'll send you the link to. I have podcasts. There's 5 there specific. The first one is the first step to success. Number 4 is one that's very unique. It's called going to the movies. And what that is, I don't know if you're a sports fan or whatever, but football does and basketball does what's called instant replay. You know, they replay some big, wonderful play that somebody got hurt on, or they made an incredible dunk, whatever. Well, I call it instant pre-play. Worrying is where we pre-play in our mind something that's bad, or worry that's going to be this awful and this awful. And we pre-play in our head something we don't want to have happen. And I just reverse it. I say, let's start to pre-play what you do want to have happen. Let's think of 5 years from today, Angelina. And this is something you're going to want to do to really tighten it up. 5 years from today, what's the perfect day for Angelina? And then having one of these notepads right here that you, on the first page, and hopefully get through all of it, not just one page. Write down when you wake up in the morning, where are you? How was your sleep? Where did you sleep? I'm going to just click something on. Where did you sleep? Or is it on the beach you're going out to?
There's a meditation. So I'm into meditation.
Fantastic.
And there is a meditation by Vishen Lakiani. I don't know if you ever heard of him on Mind Valley. He has a 6-phase meditation that he created. And one of the phases is to basically, while you're in the state of meditating, to envision your perfect day. And I do that sometimes.
Fantastic. So now when you do that,
when I do that, you know what I imagine?
Yeah, I'd love to hear. You. What?
Okay. So I wake up and I just I imagine myself, because I have a very comfortable bed already. I imagine how I'm getting up. Then I imagine how I'm going. Well, I have my breakfast or coffee, and then or my shake. Actually, I am obsessed with these shakes that I joined an MLM for.
Okay.
They're like this protein. It's a plant-based protein with, I put 2 kicks. It's one that boosts the metabolism, and the other one is all the greens that you ever need for the day. So literally I feel so good, my body is nourished, and it has enzymes, it has it's all organic, and the protein is plant-based. And you know what I want to tell you, I used to have high cholesterol, and after taking it for 3 months every day, my cholesterol is in range right now.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that
okay
fantastic?
That kind of a thing, write it down. I mean, you're describing it. Write down the date, where what time you got up in the morning. You write it down, and then there's going to be certain things which I call in the vision. A why is a different thing. The vision is where you have all the goals that you're just talking about, this perfect day. Write it all down, and then go through, because you're telling me now, and it's clear in your mind because you've thought about it many times, but go through that and write it down, and then take another pad, another piece of paper, whatever, and list the goals that you included. Like, I want to get a man's trike. It's a it's a 2-wheel back with the front, but it's so nice for a big guy and driving and riding with my wife. Well, you have to set that goal. It's $750. So you have to go through that process of writing it down. And maybe you want to go on trips. Maybe you want to go on cruises. Maybe you want to have a certain kind of exercise routine. Maybe those goals you list out, and maybe it's another home. Maybe it's a different kind of car. Maybe it's a relationship. But writing those goals down, and then subtitle a few bullets of what that goal entails. And then it's the little bullets that become your daily tasks. So you back her down from re-engineering it back down to a few steps that say, okay, now here's all these goals, and I got a page of them, and I have a whole page that goes through my goals, and then I have taken those and broken them down, and then I had to prioritize. Instead of having this elephant sit on my face, I had to prioritize. What's the goal that's most important to me? Dealing with the business, dealing with the vacation, dealing with relationship, whatever. And then you have a daily task. And I have a kind of a general task that you should follow to plump those in. And then you're doing the daily stuff to manifest it in the world of the physical, one piece at a time. You attract it into your mind, the portal in your mind, then you do the work to manifest it out in the world of the physical. And that's how these goals happen, is being very specific, very targeted, very deep. And before you know it, within 1 week, 2 of those are all checked off, and you're accomplishing your dream, that perfect day 5 years from now. You're getting that to where you might even pull that 5 days towards you. So if you truly do and have meditated and have that kind of clear in your mind, that's what I would do, Angelina, is to write it down. So you're not all over the map. Include the things you have interest in there. I don't care how many pages it is, and then kind of shuffle it into, okay, this fits, this doesn't quite fit, this is a year from now, this is not here, and then get it to there. And then you're going to have your daily tasks that you, when you wake up, you don't have to feel like you've got the whole year hitting on you. You got today's work. That's what's going to be so fun. And that's kind of what I help coach people through. I have little systems for doing that. And that allows you to actually get it done. Because thinking about it, dreaming about it, and this vehicle is going to do it for you, and that vehicle is going to do it for you, and that vehicle is going to do it for you. This didn't quite work out. They would all, to some degree, but you've got to have that kind of laid out. And then you say, I know what tomorrow's going to bring. I know what I got to do, and I know what I'm going to get done by tomorrow. That's really important. Now, vehicle is extremely important. That's what you're telling me. That's what I'm hearing, is the vehicle you're trying to find, you haven't quite come across yet. The business model, the vehicle that will fit Angelina, her personality, her dreams, use her best talents, her skill sets, her knowledge that she has now. If you want to be a public speaker, well, achieving some success, you're going to find yourself and put in a situation where you're going to speak about your dream all the time and how to do it, especially if that's really what you're talking about, is helping those get free from escaping their 9 to 5. In time, you're going to be able to tell that story. And
well, I just had that idea, so.
Well, where did those ideas come from?
That was only like this week that I decided that that's what I want to do. And
did you write it down?
Yes.
Did you? Okay. If it's write it down, now grow it out, flesh it out.
I have planners. I write. I feel like I've already written somewhere my perfect day. I just don't remember if I was elaborate. Yeah. I just don't remember if I was elaborate. I think I just was generally because I didn't want to take 2 hours to write. I just wrote out something.
Well, there's a free Zoom. You got 40 minutes on a free Zoom. So I'd get on and I'd talk to myself and speak that and put it on record and speak that perfect day. And you have 40 minutes of it, then you can break it down and write it down. So you don't have to sit for a long time, take a break from it, whatever, and then you'll have it. But recording you and save it, because 5 years from now, you can pull it up and say, here's what it is. I did a journal 2 years ago of a full year of when I had this Living the Dream coaching, how that came about, and after 13 months where it was. And so it's been very healing, very motivating, very helpful. And early on, it was ugly videos. It was tough stuff. I talked way too long, was not perfect, but it got better and better and better and better and better. And so you can, and there's going to be things that will incorporate you being able to have public speaking. It's going to incorporate you being able to get residual income that stays whether you're there or not. That dream is going to fall into place as you're doing these steps. And hopefully that's how, I'll send you a link. I've got if you don't mind me sharing, I know you're busy with the little, so I'm going to share my screen just to show you something here real quick. Let's see, where's it at? Right here, I think it's this one. No, here we go. I'll see if that one's share. Yep, it is. Okay, so I'm going to go right to here. Can you see this? Starts to me, it says 12 sequential steps. Okay, I have a coaching system right here, and it's 12 sequential steps. And it'll be a web link that I'll send you in an email later. but it lets you go to see these 12 lessons. That's the 12 things I go through. And then I have them a little here, these little 12 thumbnails. So I'm going to take lesson 10, create your story. I'm going to click on it, and you'll be able to go
So do
back and
you
look at this.
sell that course, or what do you do with it?
These are 12 45-minute video lessons that I've done,
Do
but
you
they're
sell them?
sequential steps from coming up with an idea all the way to where you launch to do marketing and everything in between. And so lesson 10, craft your story, I tell you what I go through and what that lesson consists of. And so they're there, but it allows you to see that all through this process. This website came into place, and my video journal shows that. And I want to show you something if I can find it up here. Yeah, right here, my video journal. You'll be able to look at that as well, because all this is on the public side. The membership has pages of stuff that's private to just the beginner entrepreneurs that I'm coaching, but this gives folks an idea of what's available. My coaching systems right there I showed you about. But the journal, I have the first 4 days, day 1, day 2, day 3. You see the background much different than what it is today. A little video clip of my 12th lesson, just a little smidgen of that. But then there's a link here where it goes to my YouTube channel. It has my whole journey listed there. Now, the only reason why I'm showing you this is that this evolved, and from what I personally experienced is now, and the 44 years up to it, is what I would be helping people. I'm not going to bore them. I'm going to give them some assignments. Then they go back and get it done, and it's very interesting. The 2 tracks, the business acumen I cover, but I also cover the mentality. I cover those things, and they have tools. I won't bore you with them, but I have tools that I provide files. They open up, and I use that in my coaching so that they really feel like it's not like going to a college course. That's not boring. This is you stuff, getting your dream out on paper, getting your steps on listed, and then doing things and running whatever snags, or what I call IEDs, in impromptu emotional distractions that come in out of the blue and blow you off the path. I hope to get back on those kind of things. This is how to stay on task and get, and within a week or 2, you realize I'm on to the next level. I'm on to the next step. It's happening. It's accomplishing. So I'm going to close this off as far as the sharing, and just know that, yeah, a lot of folks don't quite know what to do, what the next steps are. I take them and walk them through what those steps are so they feel themselves progressing, see themselves accomplishing, see the dream coming closer and closer, and not a train coming at them, but the light of good things happening. And finding the funding, getting the income earning, having the testing done so that your idea is tested before you dump a lot of money into it. And you say, okay, this is working. Now I'm ready to put a little more money in it. Those kinds of things. And you are the perfect example of a person, a beginner entrepreneur. You've done it, that you are really set to make your mark and to get your dream and expose and bless other people. Because what I could tell, that was motivated, helping people escape, was motivated that you want to help people have a happier life. You want to help people get more means. You want to help people heal their relationships, because that's all part of that escaping 9 to 5, because there's going to be fear involved with a lot of these folks, and helping overcome the fear and to believe in themselves. It is a wonderful journey, Angelina. It is a fun thing that you're thinking about. And I hope you do tighten that up. I hope you do get excited and feel like I can really generate some passion there. I can feel conviction for that. And that I'm capable. I hope I get a sense you have a good confidence about yourself. That confidence, a lot of people don't even have yet, and they got to learn how to acquire where confidence comes from. But you've got a good.
It was all a process,
It is.
I definitely like I mentioned on the phone, I'm kind of obsessed with personal development. I really am. Like, I'm very spiritual. I meditate. I mean, literally, it's my life. Like, I don't just talk it, I live it. I'm naturally gifted to be positive. So like all that, the reason why, like, I even got to begin with my friends, they would be like, oh, you're so motivational. I always see opportunities where people see some kind of a lack or a problem. So to me, like everything, like if I'm thinking, that's why I'm a little all over the place, because I'm like, oh, that's hard. But then I'm like, oh, so I'm not the only one who thinks it's hard. So if I found the solution.
Yes. Well, you know, um, that seems to be, I'll use the term I use. You're describing your mapping. You're describing your story. We all have an old story, and we all have some parts of that old story that we want to relay down new mapping on it. So it's right thinking. It's moving forward thinking. It's allowing us to show up how we want to show up, not how we react and do that. And it's all right here. The distances are 6 inches in our mind, going that distance of right thinking, and how to develop that habit of right thinking that attracts what we want,
So,
not what
like,
we
what do
don't want.
you think your best advice would be for me? Like, if you had to base it on your experience and what you had to go through, like, what would be one thing that you would
Okay,
mention?
one thing that's very clear to me for you is number one is to define your why. Not a big bunch of pages, but bring it. It's like this right now. It's like you're carrying the whole world of fun, excitement, and ideas. You want to get it down where it's the first main thing is manageable, which will give birth to everything else. And that is to define your why. And your why is this. Why are you wanting to do something? Why aren't you just going to corporate life? I want my why is because I feel like this and I want this, and it includes this need and reason in me. That's my why. It maybe I want to have a residual income, a passive income, because my why, I want to direct it to my daughter. I want to direct it to this. I want to be able to write. I want to be able to design and not have to have it be all strictly motivated by money. Defining that why and coming back and saying, okay, part of your meditation is pre-playing that why over and over again. And then you're going to find you're going to refine it. And once you really have a clarity on your why,
I already have a why.
okay, because that's good. The why should never come before the how. The how is going to come. But if you've got a clearness on the why, then it's going to start giving birth to some of the steps. Then you've got to go find a why a how that matches the why. And that's why you came up with this. I have what I believe in three minds: the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the vibrational mind. And the subconscious and vibration, you send that out to your mind and to the universe, and it comes back maybe 2 a.m. You woke up and you have an answer like this. This is what I need. Put it on paper, don't forget it, and then start to flesh it out. That's what I do. If you've got your why, then start asking more about this how that came to you, this how that you're talking about. Define it out better and say, okay, it's going to be doing this. I'm going to need some things to walk them through. I don't want to
But
be
what
tied
if I know how, but then I just don't want to do it? Then what?
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to be one of those coaches that doesn't beat you up, but I'm going to be one of those coaches that's going to be very candid and frank, and that is this. You've got to find something that you are passionate. You can't wait to get up in the morning and do whatever it is. And it's going to take, maybe it's a year or two to get the how done so that you're free to do without having to do it. Because you're not going to find something that's, in other words, Angelina, success isn't going to attack you.
But what if like something that I want to do is something that people won't pay me for? Like, for example, what I would be excited at this point in my life would be to publicly speak, but then like, who's going to hire me? Like no one, like who am I?
Well, I would just correct you in one thing. You are the same kind of people with the same 24 hours in your day as the best public speakers in the world, but they started terrible. And they got little gigs here and there, and they got better and better, but it came to because they had a passion about a topic. They had a passion about a subject. If you read some of their stories, you're going to find out, just like the musicians, they don't all of a sudden, they do a little YouTube and then somebody sees it and 1,000 people watch it, whatever. They're not good at the beginning, but you got to speak. You got to volunteer. Go and get in a course that lets you speak. Hi there. You're beautiful. Look at that. Look at this. Let's see the full smile. Let's see your full smile. Oh, there it comes. You're eating something. Anyhow, I would do some of those kind of things so you can get a taste of it and say, yeah, there it is. Oh, you flashed it. That's good.
So volunteer, that's a good idea. I was thinking about volunteering, maybe like at some kind of a charity.
Yeah, Toastmasters is a good group to start in, where you're forced to talk and prepare speech and learn public speaking, learn some skill sets, learn the 4 or 5 steps that make for a good story and a good storyteller. Yeah, and those are things that I don't know, it puts you out there to overcome fear, to get
and out of your comfort zone. It's very true.
Out of your comfort zone.
Never done something.
until
like
such
that.
time it's still going to be a little scary, but you're going to be learn all the skills that kind of subside and makes those butterflies fly in order, and you keep on going. And yeah, it will be, it depends on what kind of public speaking you want, if it's tied to a business or it's tied to just pure public speaking, on what topic,
Like more
what's
spiritual.
okay.
I want to talk about like philosophical approach, like mindsets, spirituality, life. That's
Okay,
what
so
I'm
if
really
that's the case,
passionate.
have you written anything about it? Write a book, small, get it
A
down, get it
book.
out of your
Well,
head,
I
and then
have
speak it.
one
And then
that
tell,
started.
well, what's the harm of writing something and then inviting 10 neighbors in for a nice little snacky type thing, hors d'oeuvres, whatever, where you try on a public speaking. You talk for 30 minutes and answer questions, something right in your own neighborhood, and get feedback. And it's called testing. And say, that didn't go too good, but I learned this, and take notes, refine it, and go do it in another place, and then volunteer. But starting that way and having what I call a peer group, a focus group that can then write their notes about it. And you got to be ready for the critique, but that's how you get started on something like that, and do
I
it
like
right
that.
in your
I like that
neighborhood.
idea. I like the idea of writing something, and then I could invite people and do a little speech.
Right. On that one month, not the whole, it's like feeding a cow. You don't dump the whole truck on him, but a little bit,
And
try on a subject, on a particular part.
I could even not write anything, but I could get people together and do a little like presentation, like a little speech of some sort.
I'll
To a
encourage you to
certain
have a
kind
little bit of an outline. So you have some track, you're not all over the map.
Well, you know what I started to do? I started doing like a live. So I think that's kind of similar. Maybe
Yeah.
do more lives, because that's kind of like public speaking. You're speaking in front of an audience.
Yeah.
So maybe I should do more of that.
Yeah. Well, take that sheet again, your dream book, take that sheet again and say, here's one idea, here's one idea, here's one idea,
Yeah.
here's one, and prioritize which ones get you most excited, and then do it. Get it under your belt, practice it, do it. Fail, success, succeed, fail. And then it's going to start to tune in as to, I really like the direction where I'm going here. This is where I'm going to tighten that up. And then you're off and running. And it starts with that first step. Absolutely.
Got it. I like that. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to try and well, yeah, I guess I need to like organize everything. I don't know. I have a
Just
lot
a
of
little bit. I
ideas.
don't want to confine him. Just a little organization. Just I would get a little binder, some paper, and that's where you start.
I have like 4.
Okay. Tighten it
Whenever
up.
whenever someone tells me like, okay, let's sit down and do your to-do list, and I'm like, I have like 20 to-do lists.
Well, what if you have a 20 to-do list or a master one that you follow each day? I would look at them and say, let's look at the ones and get the others to the side and come up with the basic half a day or whatever of the most important ones for right now. And let's focus on that. Otherwise, it's like you don't start because you got an elephant sitting on your face. And,
Yeah, well, and
get
it's
after
also
it.
like, then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I feel like doing that. And then you know what else I do? I will like come up with a plan to do, and then I'll start doing it, and then I'll realize that that's not what I want to do, and I should have done something different. So like everything changes. Then I'm like, oh, I'm over
No,
it.
and that's good though. That's good that happens.
Really?
Go to the next one. I learned, but always make a note. Here's why I didn't like that. I think I need to change it. Write that down, and then pull something else new until you find out and you discover all of a sudden, this I want to do. I've done it this long and I can't help it because I want to do it more. That's how you find out. Because we're all not going to just come up with exactly what we want, the right thing every single day, every single decision. That's not real. You know it and I know it. What's that?
She's speaking in She's speaking in Russian.
Oh, really? I can barely speak English.
Это дядя.
Дядя.
А он не понимает на английском. Скажи hello. She knows English.
How do you say hello in Russian?
Привет.
Привет.
Yeah, with her
I slaughtered
dad, she speaks in English, but wait.
What you do?
It's
But
so
because she
cute.
knows, like, I always speak to her in Russian, so she.
That is so cool. She will be bilingual. That's amazing. But
Yeah,
really,
yeah, she
Angelina,
is.
that's important. Going out and experimenting is how you come up with what becomes truly Angelina. And you don't know until you get out and
But
try.
what
It's
if,
like you
like,
never
I
know if you like.
experiment and I think, and then, like, what if I've noticed that I have a pattern of, like, I need constant change?
Well, that, you know what that is. That falls in this
I
little.
want to find, like, how do I get to a place where I can find something that's like something that I want to do for the rest of my life? Because I feel like even if I really like something and I can get back into doing it and I enjoy it, but I always need variety.
It does that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with variety. I use this illustration. Someone once asked, "What do you do?" And of course, I knew what they were asking me. I say, "Well, I paint, I write songs, I play the guitar, I like to ride bikes, I like to go up in the mountain." Was there something specific you were asking me? Is what I like to do? And oh, she was saying, "Well, I meant what you do for work." Oh, well, that's just one thing. I mean, me is not about my job. What I do is the things I like to do. And why I bring that up is that, yeah, we all have to have a way and means to make income, but there's lots of things. I love to music. I could never just do guitar. I love piano. I like to sing. I like to write music. I like to read wonderful story. And there's going to be a variety of things, but then there's going to be a couple, two or three, if not even that many, that you have to use to create your income. What's your vehicle going to be? You're just describing that up and down roller coaster, figuring out what's my vehicle. What's the business model that fits Angelina and who I am, that's tailor made for me? And when you define and get that worked in there, you're going to find you love it. You do it because you love it, not because you have to make money. And that'll come. That'll come as you do some of these basic steps to define that down. And then you get out. And one of the lessons I talk about this, coming up with that idea. And then at some point I said, if it's not doing this, and it's not doing this, you may have to discard it and come back and start over to find the one that you want. And when you finally do, Angela, you don't start over. It all starts to fall into place. Totally. Not without a little challenge, but it's a little work, but the work becomes delightful. It's not work. That's when you know you have the right passion. When the work is enjoyable. And fighting through the failure is enjoyable. That's when you got the right one that's tailor-made for you.
Got it.
Because it's all going to have some challenges. There's not one thing, even when you're on the beach and not having to go to work because the income's coming in, there's still going to be some things about it's life is 50-50. You can look at the 50% that's not great and look at the 50% that's great. It depends on your focus, because you'll never get it 100% one-sided. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, I agree.
But when you really get yourself figured out, one of the things I do is the CT-FAR model, and that CT-FAR model talks about circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Once you use that tool and really manage it, you start to manage your thoughts and not let your circumstances control, great things happen. And so I help folks get that tool working in their lives, and they get so much more done. They feel more happy. They're not giving their control and passion to something else that they can't control. Good stuff. And that's how you get things done. So you're on the right track. Just hold it down, get onto your why. If you got your why, then start working on that how.
Yeah.
Make the why that'll drive you, and then the how will come into play as you.
Got it. All right. Okay. And do you offer any kind of sessions like coaching?
Yeah, on the website that I am going to send you, there's one that says, and I won't spend it now, I just want to show you what it looks like. So when you come, you can see what it is. Let's go right to it right here. Share the screen.
Brilliant.
On the screen, on the page that you'll come to, it'll come right here to coaching system. This one says, let me help. And when you see this, let me help, it describes, and it'll open up a little slow. I got so much open here. But when you open it up on your computer, there'll be 3 videos, short videos that explain about the first one, becoming a Living Dream coaching member, getting Living Dream coaching step by step, private, whatever, and there's the Ask Coach B. So those pages lets you decide what coaching level you want or don't want, and it describes pricing. It's all right there. I have nothing to hide about it, but on the link and livingthegreencoaching.com, you'll be able to see all that and break
Got
that
it.
down and decide what you want. I do on this on the private side. I do interviews of successful business owners, and they tell their story, why they're successful, what happened, a little bit about from when they started. So that's part of the membership.
Yeah, I think for me, like, the only thing right now that I could benefit from is maybe like someone to just keep me accountable to whatever, because I already know everything, you know, like I know what to do.
Yeah.
I just need maybe, I don't know like what I need, but
Stop.
Well, that's my role. And one of the
I think-
things that I do is I do hour coaching like this, and it's $50. And that keeps them on. I give you materials and things to stay on so that you can have, and all the recordings available for you to go back and listen to match up with your notes. So, and you do it however often or however far apart, that's entirely up to you how to go about that. Okay.
Okay, got it. Well, that's good to know. Thank you so much. I'll definitely have a look at your website and I'll see some of your videos, and
bet.
we'll go from there. But yeah, it was nice talking to you. Thank you
It's
for your
my
time.
pleasure
I'm
to
so
have
sorry
met
that I
you.
was late.
Yeah, I will send this, edit a little bit. I'll send this video link so you can have it for yourself
Yeah,
with the link with my website and a few other things, and then you can go from there. All righty.
yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, continued success to you. Stay with
Yeah.
it. Don't give up. You're on a
Thank
good
you.
path. You're
Same
accomplishing.
to you.
All righty. Thanks.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye.